What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report. And coming up on today's show, we got a fun one. We're going to be talking about trading for Anthony Davis. You know, the Twitter streets amongst Bulls fans are hot around that topic, so I want to give you guys my thoughts. And then also, Nikola Topic, could he be falling to pick 11 after his injury? We'll dive into that as well. But first off, guys, just want to make sure you guys are subscribed here to our Bulls Report channel. I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me out and hit that subscribe button. And hey, it would just keep you guys up to date on the latest around your favorite basketball team. So hit that subscribe button and lock us in. It would, I would really appreciate it. So many Bulls fans on Twitter have been tossing the idea out there about trading for Anthony Davis. And, you know, kind of in the dog days of the offseason, I thought this would be a fun topic to talk about. So we're going to go into a deep dive here on AD. And, you know, in my opinion, this last year for Davis, I think it was one of his best since his New Orleans Pelicans days, or probably since the bubble. And he actually did play 70-plus games this past season, which was the most since, I believe, 2018. Yeah, 2018 here. So, or he played 76 games, so the most since 2018. So good news there. Staying healthy is obviously that has been a big-time injury concern, or big-time red flag for Anthony Davis was his injury concerns. But I got one question here. Can we trust Anthony Davis? As a man that has been born and raised in Chicago, he is one of the most die-hard Packers fans out there. And, you know, obviously joking a little bit here, but anytime I see Anthony Davis, you know, on the field at a Packers game, I always kind of raise my eyebrow at him. So a little bit joking, but, you know, can't you really trust the guy that grew up in Chicago and has Chicago tatted on his bicep, but he's one of the biggest Packers fans out there. But how would a trade go down for the Bulls and Lakers? So we have heard reports that Los Angeles is very interested in Zach LaVine, and, you know, maybe the Bulls could toss them pick 11 and a 2027 first-round pick unprotected, which could be very enticing for Los Angeles, and then the Bulls be receiving the big fella, Anthony Davis. Now, I will say this about this trade. I think the Lakers, because originally when I was trying to cook up a trade, it's tough to, you know, match the value of Anthony Davis, and maybe you would have to include the 29 first-round pick as well, but this would give LA pick 11, pick 17, and their second-round pick this year. Then plus you would be able to, you know, allow them to double up on first-round picks in 2027. Let's talk about AD a little bit more here. So he is 31 years old, and I think like when you're talking about AD, like, you know, he's still got a ton of juice left in the tank. He's still got a ton, you know, to offer a basketball team. But, you know, with all of his injuries and all of his concerns in the past, like, I don't necessarily think his trade value is as high as people think, considering his age and his injury history. But he would add a whole nother dynamic to this Bulls roster. And, you know, I actually do think Nikola Vucevic is a guy that could benefit the most from the Bulls bringing in Anthony Davis. You know, I talked about on this channel countless times about, you know, I think a team like the Memphis Grizzlies could be interested in Vooch because they have such a defensive powerhouse at that power forward position in Jaren Jackson. And I think if you want to get the most out of Vooch, you got to have one of the best defenders in the NBA next to him. And if you would add Anthony Davis to this Bulls core, I think Vooch would be able to, you know, play his best ball. And, you know, I have said 100 times on the channel, there is not a single move out there that could get the Bulls into championship contention. However, this would be a move that I think would skyrocket the Bulls up to the top of the Eastern Conference. And, you know, you would have the combination of a guy like Coby White and Ayo Dosunmu, you know, offensive and a defensive-minded guard. They would complement each other really well. You would have that closer in DeMar DeRozan. You just throw the ball to him, clear out, and flatten out and get out of the way. And then you got that double big lineup of AD and Vooch. And we saw Vooch last year. He played his best ball when Andre Drummond was on the court. And is Andre Drummond even comparable to the defensive player that Anthony Davis is? Hell no. But I think if you would add AD next to Vooch, we would see the best version of Vooch. We would give a lob threat to Coby White and Ayo Dosunmu. They would be able to turn the corner, and it would just take a whole lot more pressure off them in comparison to running that with a guy like Nikola Vucevic. So, you know, I don't think this trade is enough to get this deal done for Los Angeles. I think you would probably have to include that 2029 first-round pick. But, hey, you guys let me know. Would you go all in on Anthony Davis? Would you accept this trade? Give me an A for accept or a D for decline down in the comments section. Now, coming up next here on the show, I do want to talk about Nikola Topic, as I think he is a more likely than not draft target for the Chicago Bulls. I'll dive into a scouting report here on him in a second. But first off, guys, I want to tell you about today's presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app and use that promo code CLNS when you're making your first deposit, and we're going to match it up to $100. PrizePicks is daily fantasy sports made easy, and all you do, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. You guys can start seeing the cash roll in today. And with the NBA Finals starting tonight, I couldn't be more excited. I already got my lineup in play. I'm taking the more on Jason Tatum, half a point. They got a deal going on right now, so make sure you guys take advantage. Then also, Luka Doncic. I think he's going to roll into TD Garden and light that building on fire. So I'm going to take the more on his 31.5 points. Then Derek Lively has, done numbers for this Dallas Mavericks team. So I'm going to take the more on his 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. But hey, if you guys want to fade those picks or if you want to ride those picks, I promise you that one is a winner. I would suggest you, ride with those selections. But hey, if you guys do so, make sure you guys do it at PrizePicks, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Pick more, pick less. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Link for that will be in the comment section and description of today's show. All right, let's talk about Nikola Topic here. So we did get bad news as of late that Nikola Topic has a partially torn ACL. So, tough news for the guy, but how that relates to the Bulls is he could be falling in this NBA draft, and maybe he could get there to pick 11. But Topic did comment on his ACL injury. He said, "I'm not 100% healed. I haven't started running or practicing with the basketball. I'm focusing on rehab on my body and knee." And this could easily get him to fall to pick 11. Like, I think teams, in this draft, with obviously them being one of the weaker drafts we have seen in the past, I could see other teams kind of getting weary of, drafting Topic in the top 10. So the Bulls might be sitting there at 11, and they could go best player available and take the big size guard in Topic. And, his game is incredibly interesting to me. I'll say this. Topic is one of those guys, when I'm watching him, I just think his game is going to translate to the next level very well, man. On 2-point shots this entire past season, he shot 65%. His three-point percentage was extremely down. He's not a three-point shooter, but, obviously I think that's something he could develop. I like his form. I like his release point. And he averaged, 18 points a game, 7 assists this past season. And overall, he's a hell of a basketball player, man. And his measurables are solid as well. Like 6'6" guard, 200 pounds, 7-foot wingspan. Even though he wasn't known for his defensive ability, coming out, like he has the personnel and the body type to be a good defender in the league. And plus, what I love the most, he is only 18 years old. When I'm watching his tape, I feel like I am watching a 23-year-old just about to enter his prime. This guy's only 18. I think it'd be a good young piece for the Bulls to build around. But Kevin O'Connor, he works for The Ringer, one of the top draft analysts in the game. He wrote up some positives around Topic, as he says, sensational scorer in the paint with a deep bag of touch finishes at the rim, using either hand for unusual angles. He's a slippery driver who uses subtle pace, changes, head fakes, and clean footwork to get into the teeth of the defense. If he needs to put his shoulder into bigger opponents to draw contact, he can do so. And I think he would be a great fit on this Bulls roster. I think if you wanted to go in the direction where it's like, hey, Coby White's going to be our offensive engine. We're going to run everything through him. We're going to have him being that elite scorer. How do you want to help set him up, get him in the easier looks? You bring in a guy like Topic. And Coby White, people forget, he is 6'5". You bring in Topic at 6'6", run him at the 1, move Coby White to the 2. Like, this would be the only guard in this year's draft I would actually want the Bulls to, select at pick 11, as we talked about Devin Carter yesterday on the show, how I would be weary of drafting him because I don't think his fit would be as clean as other people think next to a guy like Coby White. But Topic, 100%. I would absolutely love it. But Kevin O'Connor wrote up some negatives about him, saying, who is he really as a shooter? He was a streaky shooter until his final high school season when he made 43% of his threes, hitting a variety of shots of movement with smooth mechanics and a high release, but he's back down to below 30% during the G League. And he also said he's loosey-goosey ball handler who has a negative assist-to-turnover ratio, largely because he often gets stripped or dribbles into trouble. Even if he's not a primary playmaker who runs a heavy dose of pick and rolls, he needs to improve his handle. And, when he was saying this, I kind of disagree with the handle part of it. Like, even though he doesn't have a super flashy handle, he does have a handle that I think can develop. Like, he's got the smooth game. He's got kind of the TJ McConnell handle where it's not like the Kyrie Irving where he's going to get the highlight tape on Instagram. Like, he's just going to do what it takes to beat his man off the dribble. And that's the thing I love about him the most. He gets the defense in rotation. And I think the Bulls need more guys like that. So Topic, in terms of his fit with the Bulls, I would love it, and I think I would take him at pick 11. Obviously, it would require him to fall there. But let me know, would you draft Nikola Topic? Give me a D for draft or give me a P for pass down in the comment section. Curious to see what you guys have to say. Make sure you guys are subscribed here to the Bulls Report. Would really appreciate it. If you guys haven't already, lock us in as you go to Bulls YouTube channel. See you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, go Bulls.